I'm going to talk about precedence, in other words, order of operations with regards to fractions. Recall that the highest priority is with respect to parentheses, then it's exponents, exponentiation, then it's multiplication and division. Those are at the same priority. And then the lowest priority is addition and subtraction. Also, recall that a fraction is essentially a division problem. All right, having said that, see if you can simplify these expressions correctly. Okay, you may want to pause the video and take an educated guess what you think the answer to each of these is. All right, so I will go ahead and do them now. So looking at the first expression, I see that the fraction contains a division. I see the negation, the minus, the dash out in front, and then I see exponentiation. So what's inside the parentheses is already simplified, so the next highest priority is the exponentiation, so I'll do that. And so the answer is minus 1/9. For the second one, I've got to treat the minus 1/3 as a unit, as a package. I can't remove the negation, remove the minus, the dash. So minus 1/3, that unit times itself gives positive 1/9, because a negative times a negative gives you a positive. Now in the third one, I've got two powers, so I'm going to have to do those first. So let me get rid of the powers, and now there's nothing else to do, so that's the answer, minus 1/9. And then on the last one, I've got to treat the minus 1 as a unit, multiply it by itself to do the simplify the top power, so that gives 1/9. Okay? Now, especially pay attention to the first two. That's a common mistake that I see, people getting the minus sign wrong on those two answers. Okay? Now, you may be familiar with more complex expressions involving fractions. Here is a more complex expression. So let's discuss what's going on here. So looking at that, each fraction inherently contains a division. The top is a sum, the bottom is a difference, and both of those, the sum is divided by the difference. So can you see that this could be understood as the following equivalent expression? Now, the original expression did not have parentheses, but it's implied that you have to treat the top and bottom as if there's parentheses around them. That's an important point, okay? So, looking at the new equivalent form, I would see that I need to simplify each parenthesis, what's inside each parenthesis, before I can do the division, okay? All right, so I hope that will help you avoid a lot of common mistakes with regards to order of operations and fractions. Now let me give you a few more exercises to close this video, and let's see if you get the right answer. Would you please try to do the following? And we'll do a complex fraction. All right, pause the video and try to simplify these expressions, please. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do it myself. So looking at the first expression, I have to do the multiplication first. That gives minus a 12th. Now I need to make them both have the same denominator. And then finally, I can do the difference, and I get minus 7 over 12. For the second one, I'm going to simplify the power first. And then for the second term, I can do that multiplication. Now I'm going to do the multiplication that's left over first and reduce the fraction. And then finally, I need to put them both under, make them both have the same denominator. And so putting it all together, the answer is minus 3/2. Okay, and then for the last one, you can wrap the top and bottom around parentheses and write it as a division problem with regards to two parenthesis blobs and do work it that way. Let me remind you that there's an alternative way, simply multiplying the top and bottom by the least common denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think that's the preferred way. In this case, the least common denominator is 12. So it all simplifies to minus 6 plus 4 all over 9 minus 18. Okay? We still have to be mindful of the order of operations. We still have to do the top sum and the bottom difference before we do any division. All right? So the top simplifies to minus 2. The top simplifies to minus 9. And that itself simplifies to 2/9. All right. So to recap, parentheses have the highest priority, then exponentiation, then at the same level multiplication and division, and then at the lowest level subtraction and addition.